Welcome to our Modi Briefing Show. I'm your host Yan Zhen. We dive into the intricacies of Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to Russia, which has raised eyebrows in the West. Analysts suggest this move is part of India's strategy to bolster its security amid growing tensions with China. Given India's historical reliance on Russian arms and equipment, despite a tilt towards the West, India continues its delicate balancing act with Russia, especially in the defense and energy sectors. Meanwhile, India's increasing imports of Russian fossil fuels have drawn criticism, but the nation justifies this by citing its long-standing ties and energy needs. On a more human note, we look at the plight of Indian citizens allegedly tricked into joining the Russian army and sent to fight in Ukraine. Families are hopeful that Modi will secure their release during his visit. Lastly, we touch on India's recent legal overhaul, replacing colonial era penal laws with new legislation that has sparked a heated debate. Critics fear the new laws are more draconian, while supporters view them as a step towards decolonization. Please stay tuned for the detailed coverage. South China Morning Post. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Russia has sparked concern among Western allies, but analysts interpret it as a strategic move by New Delhi to bolster its security amid rising tensions with China. Modi's trip, which coincided with Russian military strikes on a children's hospital in Kyiv, was criticized by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Western commentators. However, Indian experts argue that India's long-standing dependence on Russian arms and equipment necessitates maintaining ties with Moscow to counterbalance China. Harsh Pant, an international relations professor at King's College London, emphasized that India's engagement with Russia is crucial for standing up to China at its borders. Despite the West's warnings about Russia's growing ties with China, India continues to navigate its complex geopolitical landscape, balancing its relationships with both Russia and Western nations. Modi's prioritizations of the Russia visit over neighboring South Asian countries underscores the importance of this relationship, especially given India's significant purchases of Russian oil and defense equipment. Deutschwelle. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi engages in talks with President Vladimir Putin, India aims to stay neutral and boost trade with Russia, despite Western criticism over increased imports of Russian fossil fuels. India, the world's third-largest oil importer, has seen a significant rise in deliveries from Russia due to heavy price discounts. Despite accusations of funding Putin's war efforts, the Kremlin is eager to enhance trade with India to mitigate the impact of Western sanctions over the Ukraine war. Historically, India and Russia have maintained strong defense and trade ties, with India being a major market for Russian defense equipment. However, recent Western sanctions and the ongoing Ukraine conflict have complicated these relations. While India has remained neutral in the conflict, it continues to seek economic opportunities with Russia. Modi's visit to Moscow signals the importance of this relationship, as both nations explore new trade avenues, including the International North-South Transport Corridor and the Chennai-Vladivostok Maritime Corridor, to secure flows of energy and raw materials. Deutschwelle. During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Russia, Indian families are urging him to address the plight of Indians reportedly duped into joining the Russian army and sent to fight on the front lines in Ukraine. These individuals were allegedly lured by travel agents with promises of lucrative jobs and education, but ended up in the conflict zone. The Indian Foreign Ministry had earlier confirmed that some citizens had signed up for jobs supporting Russia in the war. Family members have shared their distress, hoping Modi will secure the release of their loved ones. In video messages, the trapped individuals recount their struggles and fears, while their relatives in India express their worries and expectations for Modi to intervene. This humanitarian issue adds another layer of complexity to Modi's diplomatic mission in Russia, highlighting the personal stakes involved in the geopolitical maneuvers. Deutschwelle. India has recently scrapped its colonial-era penal laws, replacing the 19th century Indian Penal Code, Code of Criminal Procedure, and Indian Evidence Act with 3 new criminal laws. This overhaul, intended to distance the nation from its colonial past, has sparked significant controversy. Critics argue that the reforms, which include extending police custody from 15 to 60 days and up to 90 days in special cases, new provisions for terrorism and organized crime, the death penalty for mob lynching, and the audio-visual recording of evidence, could lead to a police state. The new laws also replace the old sedition law with broader offenses related to national sovereignty and unity. Legal experts and human rights activists, such as Supreme Court lawyer Niben Saxon, expressed deep concerns highlighting potential violations of constitutional safeguards and Supreme Court judgments. Activist Natasha Narwal, who was detained in 2020 for protesting religious freedom, warns that these laws could increase police power and suppress dissent. Despite the ruling, Bharatiya Janata Party's BJP portrayal of the reforms as a step towards decolonization, critics like Saxena argue that the old laws had already evolved significantly and did not warrant such drastic changes. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6DO. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6DO team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6DO Brief. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6DO Brief via email.